All right, so just to make sure everyone's names memorized, we have Mary Lou, Isabella, and Beth. Okay, so just to reintroduce myself, my name is Karina Marquez. I'm the district manager and owner here at the South Miami office. And all that means is I'm just in charge of all the recruiting and sales operations that happen here in the South Miami area. So just to review the interview process, just so you know what I'm looking to get done here today, what you just went through was a pre-screening process. And that's just a chance for me to meet with all the other applicants. Not everyone that showed up here today. You three were the ones that I decided to spend a little bit more time with today. So I'll spend about an hour going over the details of the position. I'll give you an idea about what we do here at Vector, and then I'll pull you to side one-on-one, ask you a few more questions, and then I'll let you know whether or not you've been accepted for the position. So as I go over the details of the position, I'll be using the TV over here to go over the main points. I'll be taking notes of my own, of course. I do suggest you take notes throughout the interview just because I wouldn't want anything to be unclear if any of you were to be accepted. You don't necessarily have to take notes on everything I'm saying, but I'll be emphasizing certain points you're definitely going to want to get down. So I guess my first question for all of you, and just so you know, when I do ask questions, there's no need to raise your hand. You can shout out answers, it's perfectly fine. Why do you think we do this portion of the interview in a group as opposed to one-on-one?
To see how we interact?
Sure. I mean, group interaction in general, not only how you interact with each other, but really how you interact with myself in front of your peers. Any other thoughts?
It saves us time.
Yeah, it's just the most efficient way to go about it. Obviously, if I were to spend an hour with each of you one-on-one, I'd be here all night. So this is just the most effective way to do it. I don't need to change any of the information. It's all exactly the same. So this is the best way for me to respect your time, but respect my time as well. So just so you're aware, as the interview progresses, I will be asking a lot more questions. I'm really looking to see how comfortable you are at answering these questions. I am basing about 80% of my decision on this part of the interview. So obviously your resume matters, your experience matters, of course, but I'm looking to see how well you work with me here. I find that through this process, I'm usually able to choose the best people for the position, and they're the ones that usually work the best with me later on anyway. So just so you're aware, I obviously can't go on accepting every single person. So, we do have a lot of people applying, but I will give each of you the courtesy of letting you know whether or not you'll be accepted later on today. So there's a lot of things that I'll be covering today. I'm going to go over the company. I'll show you the product, of course. I'll show you who we market the product to. I'll cover the pay program, the training program, the perks, and then move on to the final interview. If you have questions throughout the interview, it's totally normal. All I ask, jot down those questions as opposed to voicing them out. It's just the most efficient way to go about the process. Like I mentioned earlier, I do want to save everyone some time here. So the way the interview is designed is to answer your questions as they come up. I'm fully confident in my abilities to do so. If you do have a question, jot it down the way you don't forget. And if for whatever reason I don't answer your question in that final interview, I'd be more happy to any questions that you have. But this is just saves time from jumping and skipping to something that I'm going to cover anyway. Sound fair?
Yeah.
Okay. So just so you know, I actually started in the same position that three of you in right now. I applied for the same exact position. In fact, everyone in the company starts off the same exact way, including the company president. So as far as the company goes, I'm sure all of you have heard of companies that are owned by larger corporations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Vector is no different. Our parent company is the Cutco Corporation. So Cutco's actually been around since 1949. Cutco is the product. It's an American-made product stationed in a little city called Olean, New York. And Vector is the marketing arm for Cutco products. Now, Vector didn't come around until 1981. And in that first year, they actually only sold $750,000. In 1992, they grew to about $50 million. And this past year, 2013, it's not on the slide, but we did over $250 million. So can anybody tell me, what are some advantages of working for a growing company?
You get to grow with it.
Yeah, Isabella, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a big reason why I'm in the position I am now is obviously I've worked hard, but due to the growth of the company, I've been able to move up fairly quickly. Also, how's the job market nowadays?
Not that good.
Could be better. At a time where most companies are stagnant, we are still looking to add a few good people. So we work with all types of people, and we have a lot of offices nationwide and in Canada, about 250 to 300 offices nationwide. Right now, we're part of the Eastern region, which just means all the offices from Puerto Rico up to the Virginians. Specifically, we're part of something called the Florida Caribbean Division, which just means all the offices in South Florida and the Puerto Rico areas. So the people that we work with are all types of people, from students to career professionals to people looking for supplementary income as well. As far as students go, because I'm aware that all of you are students, why do you think a lot of companies actually prefer to not work with students?
They don't have a lot of experience.
Lack of experience is, definitely a big one. Anything else?
They work on a short-term basis.
Sure. I mean, we, on the other hand, really enjoy working with students just because I find that since they're already used to learning, they tend to pick things up pretty quickly. Also, they're just naturally attracted to the position. The perks, the flexibilities that we provide, they are very student friendly. We have scholarships available for people on the collegiate level. I won a scholarship through FIU, while working here, and they also have college credit opportunities, which I did get as well, along with a few of my other peers, just from working here. So they just understand the pressures that students have. They try to help out as much as possible. Now, when the company was first founded, they did make several decisions on how they were going to run things. I'm not going to stand here and walk through every single one. However, I do feel as applicants, it's important for you to understand not only what the company values, but really what I value and what I'm looking to bring to my organization. So just know that first and foremost, they chose to represent only the highest quality product. So Mary Lou, I'm going to put you in the spot real quick. Why do you think we chose to do high quality as opposed to low quality?
Well, people like quality.
I mean, that's the bottom line, right? So
Yeah.
just so you know, we chose to represent only the highest quality product since 1949, and we haven't really added anything to our product line, or when we do add something, we make sure that it's the best of its kind. And we chose to present that product line as something called a low-key sales approach. Now, by a show of hands, has anyone been approached by a pushy salesperson before?
Yes.
Okay. Well, our philosophy is if somebody buys Cutco, that's great. Obviously, that's the goal. If they don't, though, that's okay too, because the main focus that my students have is just educating a customer. That way, they're ensured to make the best decision on their own. We've had customers stick with us for 30, 40, 50 years even, simply because of the way that they've been dealt with. Nationwide, we just broke 17 million customers, and dealing with them ethically, it is very important to us. Which kind of ties into the next decision, is to have a corporate philosophy of honesty and integrity. It's third on this list. Really, it's number one in my book, just because I find that you'll see in a second when I show you the product line, there is no need to exaggerate or be dishonest about the product in any way whatsoever. What happens when companies do that? When they exaggerate just a little bit too much?
It seems like they're lying. It seems like they don't want to show like the actual quality of the product.
Okay? Nothing good can happen. Honesty, integrity, it's just important.
Yeah.
From the top to the bottom to, everything in between. It's important to me. I deal with every single person this way. I do expect every person I bring onto the team to maintain that philosophy of honesty and integrity in working with not only our customers, but our coworkers as well. We do have a specific way in how we market our products. We have something called a non-store retailing strategy. Now, we do this for a few key reasons. The main one being, does anybody know what happens to the price of a product when it goes from the factory to the store? What happens to the price of it?
It goes up?
It increases. So with a higher quality product, obviously how expensive can it get?
So much more expensive.
Exactly. So because Cutco is high quality, we did the opposite of that. We cut out all the middlemen so that the customer gets the same quality product at a less expensive price. Meanwhile, the company keeps the same profit. So other places do this too. This isn't anything new. They usually choose some form of advertisement that's low in cost, like to advertise online or get a catalog of some sort. And usually customers save anywhere between 10 and 40% as opposed to if they were to buy that same product in a store. Now, other than price, because again, that's the main reason we chose to do this, other than price, can anybody tell me any other benefits of having an in-home presentation as opposed to buying that product in a store?
What's more relaxing?
Definitely. The customer's a lot more comfortable and feels at home, literally. Why else?
They can trust you more.
That trust factor is huge, and the fact that they can connect a lot with the customer too. Any other reasons?
Just more comfortable.
A lot more comfortable. And also they can just try out the product too and use it hands-on. Could you imagine buying a car without test driving it?
No.
Exactly. So this just ensures it's a lot more comfortable, a lot more comfortable for both people, right? And bottom line, you'll see when I show you the product, we have a world-class product. I expect world-class customer service. So I find that one-on-one interaction really embodies that. So again, my students don't do any door-to-door. There's no cold calling. There's no telemarketing involved. They work on an appointment basis only. So they only see a customer if there's an appointment set and the customer already knows that they're coming. So I just find that to be the most professional way of dealing with our customers, and I'll show you exactly how that works when we get to the market section. But as far as the pay goes, we did choose to pay a little bit more than other entry-level jobs. Any thoughts on why you think we chose to pay so much?
To attract high-quality applicants?
Definitely, we attract a lot more people, as you can see, since a lot of people are applying, but now in a managerial sense, I can be more selective and choose from the higher quality applicants since I can't afford to take on everybody. So we have something called a two-part pay program. How are most salespeople paid?
Off commission.
Yeah, so Isabella, if a salesperson's only paid on commission, how do they tend to act normally?
Oh, so pushy, aggressive, and yeah, they're just not good.
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand, especially if you've worked a commission job before, you can relate. If they don't make a sale, they can't pay their bills. So that's why subconsciously they do get a little bit more pushy, a little bit more aggressive, since they only get paid off their sales. So that's why, we do have that guaranteed rate to ensure there's no pushiness, there's no aggression. But then we have an incentive rate for those that are working harder, have that opportunity to earn more. And bottom line, I just feel by instilling confidence in my people, they typically rise to the occasion. More often than not, they learn to expect more out of themselves, which is pretty nice to see too. So I'll dive more into the pay in a second, and I'll definitely explain a lot more. That way you're fully comprehensive of what it means. But as far as the product goes, I'm going to show you a few samples of Cutco. That way you know exactly how my students show a customer.